All you had to do was follow the damn tracks, Glenn. Welcome back to The Walking Dead. Second GTA San Andreas reference in a row. May as well go with it. Big Smoke's here. The big wagon. The
Why not?
G-Wagon.
The Walking Dead Season 4, second half absolutely sucks, so we have to bring out the GTA references to try and make it interesting, and so be it, we'll do it.
Yep, I'm going to completely bury Abraham, Eugene, Glenn, etc. this episode, because you know what? Their logic surrounding a train tunnel just fucking baffled me, and you know what? I didn't catch on like 9 years ago, but watching it, I was like, what the fuck are they smoking? But we'll get to it. We'll get to it a wee bit later on, because they're walking down the railroad tracks, and you know what? I'm fucking sick of seeing these railroad tracks. See railroad tracks without a train? What's the fucking point of them? I need a train.
I mean, I don't mind seeing the railroad tracks at first, but then after a while, it's just people following a railway track.
Yeah,
It's no different from walking on a road.
Yeah, like we're walking, Glenn notices some in the distance. It's the message that Maggie previously left for him. But I believe...
Have you seen Stand By Me?
The video? Oh no, the movie?
Film? Aye.
Aye, the four kids?
Aye.
And the train comes?
Yeah, but like, see if that train's not there, do you not think that the whole... that just takes away from the movie? That train just appearing and, almost running them over, that was a great scene.
Alright, yeah, it's like...
I
like
get
the Breaking Bad train heist without the train.
Aye. Where was the train in The Walking Dead? Did they not have a budget?
No, they probably didn't.
Imagine it was just a train coming. You ever seen those trains in India where it's like fucking thousands of people and they're hanging out the windows?
Zombie train?
Aye, they're hanging out, they're sitting on top of it, and it's basically like Indians and they're just like fucking climbing onto the train.
Yeah.
Imagine we seen that, but it was like a walk-off version. And they're walking on the tracks, and the next bit, look behind them, there's like a zombie train.
Could they not have done something really cool? Well, I'm not saying everyone needs to be on the train, but like they're on the train that goes out of control and smashes through Terminus. There's your fucking finale. No? Is it not better than what we got? Oh, they're cannibals, and Rick notices.
I think that's more video game-like, to be honest.
They're fucking with the wrong people. No, come on, it's more Thomas the Tank. But anyway, let's talk about the fucking jobbers here.
No, it's seen you, but like it is a bit fucking lame. Like, well, I guess we'll talk more about Terminus when we get there. I'm not gonna spoil it here. Let's just talk about this episode. Screw it.
Right. I
want to rant about Terminus, but I'll wait.
Let's just wrap up. Rick, Carl, and Michonne. They're walking. They're balancing. Michonne loses.
Balancing.
Rick does not approve of this. I don't know. I think Carl and Michonne went from like being in the same group to some reason best of friends overnight. I'm not digging this relationship, but hey. Guess there's worse things on the fucking show, to be honest. But yeah, Rick's not impressed. But that's literally it for these ones. They leave behind a candy bar to be found by
Joe.
I say candy bar rapper. And they're not like me and you, Daryl. But Daryl, he wakes up at 5:45. He goes out hunting for a rabbit, kills said rabbit. But who shoots at the same time? None other than Len, that little bastard Len.
Claimed.
See this?
I was like, there ain't no claiming. I was up first. I've been waiting all day to shoot this rabbit. But Len doesn't seem to care. He's like, it doesn't matter about what time you get up in the morning. The only thing that matters is how quickly you claim it. And Daryl didn't claim it, so Len believes it's his. We then see Joe appear. Joe says that, yep, the rabbit does belong to Len. However, Daryl didn't know the rules, so therefore it'd be harsh to punish Daryl for rules he didn't know that he broke. So he decides to just cut the rabbit down the middle.
Gives him the arse end.
Yeah, gives him the arse end. I don't know if this was on purpose or not, but I mean, I guess you could argue maybe the arse end's got more meat on it.
Yeah, you can't eat the ears, can you? Dogs eat the ears, like, I don't know.
Rabbit ears, duck ears, rabbit ears.
The rat. It's not like it was a big rabbit.
Couple of mouthfuls, like it.
This claim gimmick's pish, though. I'm sorry.
Claimed.
And you know what? It gives them a good name. Apart from that, it does nothing fucking.
The claimers. Just sounds pish.
The proclaimers.
Oh, I would walk 500 miles
to be the man that
claim
half
a rabbit. I mean, come on. What are we doing here? We go to Glenn's group and they come across that there's a building and
it's like a fire.
we see
Building.
we see a walker on top. It falls off the edge. Glenn gets pushed out. Tara gets pushed out the way when Abraham is trying to save Eugene.
If you want to talk about forced, unnecessary scenes, The Walking Dead always where people get injured. This is fucking lame.
Yeah, so Tara gets knocked over. She hurts her ankle. She's struggling to continue, but Glenn says they need to keep on going.
Rosita confronts Glenn. You're
So
so
you're an
selfish.
ass.
You're selfish.
Can't you see? I mean, why doesn't Glenn just say, "Look, you stupid fucking pigtailed stupid bastard. The group that she was with killed my father-in-law, and she owes me." And that's it. That shuts Rosita up. But Rosita's making it as if Glenn's a bad. And she doesn't know. She doesn't know the story. She doesn't know what happened at the prison. She
Yeah.
doesn't know shit.
These are the same two fuckers that wanted to take Tara and Glenn hostage so they could help them with their mission.
But she knows that Tara's willing to do anything for Glenn. Maybe there's a reason. Maybe, just maybe there's a reason Tara's willing to do anything for Glenn. Because the fucking guilt that she feels. But Rosita, you know, obviously not a brain cell in there. Just being brought along by... I wonder how Abraham met Rosita.
I think she was just part of the unit, like, but
Part of the unit. You sure he didn't just see her on the streets and went, "Oh, you're pretty hot, you can come with me"?
she's a fucking. I've never liked the character.
I know it's mad. See when like Rosita and Eugene, right, get introduced at this point, you think that they are just like maybe a one season character. But you think, right, they're not gonna be main characters, they're just they're just like minor characters that maybe are going to last a season, two at the most, and they're going to be like deaths. They're going to be background characters and get killed, and they actually go on to be main. See, when you get to like, not even the last season. See, by the time you get to like season 9, these are like people that are portrayed as these are like the fucking Ricks and Shanes and Laurie's and the Andreas of the earlier season. You're like, what the hell? How did this happen? This is a tell, man, that The Walking Dead was going downhill. See when the likes of Rosita and Eugene, see when you see the credits and their names are appearing like third and fourth, going into see when it's like Norman Reedus and then the next name you see is fucking Rosita's. That's when you know this show's went to absolute shit.
She should have stuck to Ned's survival guide. Remember that on Nickelodeon? That's what she.
I don't remember.
That's what she got her first break in. But point is, that's what she should have stuck to.
But speaking of break, I don't think Tara's ankle's broke, but Glenn says we need to push on. Rosita says you're a dick. Abraham's like, yeah, you know what, we ain't going to push on anymore. I'm not risking this guy's life. But Glenn compromises and like, okay, you care about keeping Eugene safe. I'm wearing a big riot gear. How about I give Eugene my riot gear and then we push on and we both win. Abraham's like, that's a good deal. Rosita's like, but yeah, she doesn't win out that deal. Then Abraham just looks at her and go, you know what, she's a big enough woman. She can deal with her. Was he fat shaming Tara here?
She's a butch woman.
She can deal with it. And they make the deal.
So hold on, was this entire deal going to hinge on if Tara's ankle's alright or not? Is Abraham going to be like, fuck the mission?
Well, I think this was Abraham getting back at Tara for looking down Rosita's shirt. Because he mentioned that at the start of the episode.
He did.
He's like, yeah, I seen the way you were looking at my girlfriend's tits. And
I don't like it.
but he said he didn't really mind because Eugene does it too.
Right, he's happy.
I mean, this guy is simple.
Well, there's definitely more of a chance of Rosita getting with Tara than fucking Eugene.
I tell you what though, see when Abraham finds out that Eugene is in fact a know-it-nothing and he can't save the world, does that mean he's not allowed to look anymore? I think he's probably getting a free pass right now. But does that mean his looking at Rosita privileges are going to be declined once Abraham finds out the truth?
Probably. But anyway, right. Quote of the episode. Joe tells Daryl, ain't nothing sadder than an outdoor cat that thinks he's an indoor cat.
And Daryl's an outdoor cat who thinks he belongs indoors.
And then they keep mentioning...
Yo, Daryl's the cat and Rick's the crazy cat woman that got Daryl neutered in season 2. That's what happened.
That's pretty much it. But they mention us a lot here.
And then Meryl's a cat that went missing and we thought he was dead. And he came back after like a couple of months.
9 lives.
Like, you're Daryl. There's someone down there good and giving us good premium milk. But I don't like the milk down there. I like the water from Rick's kitchen. Milk. Rick's kitchen water. Tap water, Rick. Rick water. This is a water dictatorship.
I don't get though why Daryl's like with this group. He could have left in the morning. He clearly doesn't really get along with them. And it seems like he's just completely forgotten about Beth. I get it, they were in a car, but
I think we need to make a separate video here about that about Meryl Dixon.
Doing what?
Like, they want him to be in season 4. I wonder what his role would have been. Now, I'm assuming that maybe they would have had the governor kill him and Too Far Gone. But I'm just thinking, if he did survive, Jesus Christ, I mean, how much more they could have maybe done their spin-off,
Yeah.
the Dixon spin-off, because we had that little period in season 3 where they went off on their own, but didn't really last long.
No.
The way we've seen in the second half of season 4, where the group have been split for like the full second half of the season, maybe that would have been a good time.
Place Merrill would be Beth for still, and your odds is drastically going up and getting a good rating are up. They're skyrocketing.
Yeah, I wonder what Merrill would have done if he was with Beth. Like,
Right, let's get to the tunnel, the train tunnel, right? So, essentially is, they don't want to go in. Glenn says, you're not going to follow me in there, but we know anything around this tunnel is going to be a day extra added on. Right.
how do we know that? Glenn doesn't know the length of the tunnel. It would have to be a fucking long tunnel.
Train tunnels are naturally short. You will not get like a 10-mile rail tunnel unless it is like, it would be unique.
What's the longest tunnel you've ever been in a train?
Probably like a mile and a half.
Is that the one going into Glasgow?
No, that's not even that long.
It's probably the longest one I've been in. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
The one in Embrus. But my point is, right, this is some random tunnel. Right? Numero uno, it wouldn't take that long to walk it. And see this whole gimmick of going around it? Why couldn't they just walk up the side of the incline and walk above the tunnel? Because you could clearly see where the tunnel would be. This entire gimmick of that it's going to add a day on just created this plot purpose of we need to split up.
also, see inside the tunnel. Did you see the actual angle of one of the turns? A train would never turn that.
It was quite abrupt, wasn't it?
Now, I mean,
It's quite an acute angle for a
no, we're talking like a 90-degree angle here.
Aye.
Now, was this maybe not? Did this like deviate away from the train tracks? Was this like maybe a construction maintenance part of the tunnel they went into? But I mean, I don't know what happened, but how can they decide that? How can he come to the conclusion that it's going to take a day to go around?
Yeah.
Based on what? And they're making out as if they can't go through the tunnel, but the likelihood is that Maggie's went through the tunnel already.
Right, but then later on the episode, right, Eugene, Rosita, and Abraham sort this out, and they get a car. Abraham goes to sleep. Then Eugene points out that if they were walking exactly at 3 miles an hour, they will be here at this railroad. So hold on. So what he was able to work out how long the tunnel was and all that shit. So therefore everything they've just talked about is absolute fucking mince. If he's able to work out that when they went into that tunnel at 3 miles an hour, they would be at that exact location.
And also, if Eugene knew how to get to the opposite end of the tunnel by getting a car, why didn't they just say to Glenn, "Look, we'll track back and get a car and we can get there in no time"?
Yeah. Now, obviously, Eugene.
No, but Eugene got to the other end of the tunnel before Glenn did.
Yeah, because he met up with Bob, Sasha, and Maggie before.
This just made zero fucking sense.
It was just
plot purposes.
It was just a forced plot.
Abraham goes to sleep. Rosita's supposed to be in charge, but Eugene starts dictating what's happening. Then Eugene says, right, stop here. So he's come up with this plan. Again, as a guy that is willing to do anything but go to DC, because he knows once he gets to DC, he's fucked. He doesn't know shit. So he's coming up with any sort of plan that he can. And he was, I guess, waiting to see where Glenn and Maggie would be. No, where Glenn and Tara would come out. Although Maggie, Bob, and Sasha, they bump into them instead. Now, this guy didn't know when they entered the tunnel, and this guy doesn't know how long the tunnel is. So he could make no fucking estimated guess as to when they would bump into these three. So I'm going to assume that he was expecting to bump into Glenn and Tara, and not Sasha, Bob, and Maggie. But I mean, whatever. They see them, and then in the tunnel, Tara gets her leg trapped under a rock. She tells Glenn, look, there's walkers everywhere, just leave me. I'm to blame. Herschel's beheaded because of me. Go and find Maggie. But Glenn, being the good guy that he is, isn't willing to leave Tara behind, and he tries to fight off the walkers, and then we see gunshots and lights appear, and it turns out that we've got Abraham, we've got Eugene, we've got Rosita, Maggie, Sasha, and Bob, and all six of them are just standing there down the tunnel, shooting the walkers, and that's it. We get the reunion with Maggie and Glenn, and then it looks like Sasha and Bob have already agreed that they will go with Abraham after the checkout terminus. They're all going to go to Washington.
On the road again. But yeah, this entire tunnel scene just didn't do it for me. It's ridiculous, right? They had to add, because obviously, right, if there ain't that day detour, which it didn't even take a day, right? Because, I mean, they literally got the other end before them. Then obviously you're not going to go in the tunnel if you can just take. But they had to throw that in to make it. Oh wait, we can go the quick way, but that means going through the tunnel.
Yeah, because if they turn around and says, "Oh, going around the tunnel is only going to add an extra 10 minutes," well, they'd be like, "Well, let's just go around the tunnel then."
Yeah,
'Cause
but
it's safer.
adding in the day while you're already hot on the tail of Maggie, Bob, and well, so we don't actually find out. Did Maggie, Bob, and Sasha go through the tunnel?
Of course they would have, because
Then what about all those walkers then in the tunnel? How'd they get past them?
well, according to Abraham, if according to Eugene, if they went around the tunnel, they'd have been a day behind. So
Fucking just stupid, right? Let's talking is stupid. So Len decides to plant the rabbit's top half, not the arse end, in Daryl's big black bag.
this
Joe,
is after everyone claims a car and Daryl has to sleep on the floor. By the way,
surely there was another location in this garage that wasn't claimed and was better than the floor.
still wonder why Daryl's sticking with these guys. I know Joe has said that you need people and all this, but Daryl at this point just seems like someone who would rather be on his own anyway.
Yeah, but what's Len doing? He plants this in Daryl's bag in the middle of a massive like body shop, and Joe watched him the entire time.
Yeah, so Joe was like, "Yeah, did you do it? Did you steal it there?" Daryl's like, "No." And Len's like, "He stole it. Let's beat the shit out of him." Joe asked Len, are you telling the truth? Did you plant that rabbit? Len says no. And then Joe tells the boys to get him because Joe apparently seen him do it. And Daryl asks, "Well, why didn't you stop him?" And Joe says, "Because I wanted to teach that piece of lying shit a lesson." And he compares him to a cop, compares him to a pug. Now, at this point, I thought they were just going to like beat up Len. Daryl goes to sleep, wakes up. He just sees a lot of blood on the floor for where Len was getting beaten up. And then when they're leaving to go on their journeys, he spots Len and his body just like outside, like battered and twisted, and have a big crossbow impaled through his head. Daryl then contemplates putting a blanket over Len, but decides against it and just keeps the blanket. And I guess that was Daryl's way of saying, "Oh, you're a piece of shit and you're not worthy of a blanket."
Why the fuck would he give up his blanket for this guy that tried to get him killed?
You know what?
It's not even like Daryl's like a normal person though. Stop.
I think this is something you do at the start of the apocalypse. If you're trying to pay respect to someone that's like dead or bad, even if you don't know them, right?
Not 4 seasons in.
I just think, because the human civilization's still relatively, fresh and whatnot, it might be considered the respectable thing to do to try and cover a dead body. But see, when you're 4 seasons in and this guy was trying to kill you and this guy's been up your ass, blankets aren't easy to come by.
No.
So, yeah, Daryl decides against giving them the blanket. Then we see them on the rail tracks and they're walking ahead. We see one of the guys look at a strawberry, but Daryl jumps in ahead and goes, "Claimed."
Brilliant. Fucking phenomenal.
So Daryl finally understands the rules. He's claimed a strawberry. And then we get the candy bar rapper.
The candy bar rapper. So they're behind Rick, Carl, and Michonne. Rick literally got like a 2-minute scene in this episode, and that's all he gets, right? And then of course the main talking point, the ending of this, Terminus, the wee happy song plays. Oh, happy days. Terminus, big gates, end of the tracks, big Terminus spread on the walls, there's gardens, lower your weapons, you'll be greeted at Terminus. And then Mary returns around and goes, "Welcome to Terminus, I'll make you a plate. Oh, happy day."
Do you think they included Rick here? Because if they didn't, it would have been 3 episodes in a row with 0 Rick.
Yeah. He wasn't need it.
Yeah, I don't really think this scene was necessary. Now, I guess the only reason the only thing you could say this added was the whole candy bar wrapper.
Just compared with the previous couple of seasons, this is such a lackluster penultimate episode.
Yeah, I mean, you look at last season.
Half the group's already made it to Terminus.
No, but look at season 3. You got the Meryl episode. He takes out the governor, then obviously he dies. Season 2, you got Better Angels, where it's that Shane episode, and he confronts Rick and dies in the fields. I mean, Jesus Christ! Compare those 2 episodes to this. It's like, what are we doing here?
No, this was really. it wasn't overly bad, but nothing happened. There was a tunnel. Jules' group lost a guy because he tried to frame Daryl, and a few of the group got the Terminus. That's it. That is it. That nothing groundbreaking, nothing insane, no major deaths. Just a bunch of jobbers getting to a fucking railway station terminal. Anyway, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10 as well. I enjoyed... You know what? Abraham's kind of growing on me.
Abraham,
I enjoy the dynamic between Abraham and Glenn. And Joe's group's not bad, let's be real. Oh, say his group's pretty shit, but I like Joe.
I like Joe too, but
Joe.
Claimed.
So I am.
Claimed. Anyway, guys, it's a 4 out of 10. Up next is the finale. I believe it's called Alone. We're going to get the Terminus. Rick's going to...
Is it not called Terminus?
No, I don't think so. I think it's called Alone.
Alone.
Oh, wait. No, it is called... I think
It's called A.
Aye, that's it, because Alone was the episode with big... Bobby Maltese Dome. Anyway, guys, 4 out of 10.
I'm all alone.
Peace.